Welcome to the second round of the Diamond Classic. We started right on time as it's the Delsea Crusaders and the Haddon Heights Garnets, an unbeaten Delsea coming into this game 6-0 in the Tri-County Liberty, 14-0 overall, as Haddon Heights, who beat Sterling in the first round, now faces the gauntlet of the left-hander Frank Chiron with an 0.32 ERA. He comes into this game better than ever as we'll get ready for the first round, or rather second round, and second game here at Timber Creek. Frank Chiron facing the leadoff man and the center fielder Jackson Butler. The first pitch of the ball game is a strike, 0-1. You can already feel the energy building in this place. There are at least 8 or 10 scouts behind the plate from a variety of organizations and backgrounds. There's a strike called, 0-2. See, they are all lined up back there with Frank Chiron looking to take command. Quickly 0-2 to the center fielder Butler. Here's the pitch. No, it's 1-2. Chiron is set, and the pitch. Swing and a miss. A laser fastball sets down Butler, and that's the first out of the ball game. Let's take a look at the Haddon Heights lineup, brought to you by Harper Driving School. You just saw Jackson Butler in center field. He'll be followed up by Nolan Lackall at short. Kevin Clark is the catcher batting third. Richard Ferrugia is the DH in the fourth spot. Jackson Mata, who's been a big key factor for Haddon Heights this year, he bats fifth in left field. You've got Carter Zatuski in right batting sixth. Ryan Gavito at second base. Trent Bagley at first, and Colin Camarote batting ninth, rounding out the order. Swinging a foul tip. 0-1. And then let's also talk about Frank Chiron for a second. 22 innings for him this year, only 1 earned run, 22 strikeouts. That K to Butler was strikeout number 196 in his career. As 22 innings, 6 walks, and again, a 0.32 ERA for him this year. Here's the pitch. Lined, base hit, Lackall just got over the glove in left center field off of Du Bois. And Haddon Heights gets a hit off of Lundino. And Chiron allows a 1-out base hit. Here is Kevin Clark. Kind of had an abrupt start to this one right around 4:20 p.m. as well, the lefty-lefty matchup here in the third batter of the ball game. They say yes, 0-1. Another strike, 0-2. Some wind picking up. Wind looks like it's blowing straight out to center field this afternoon. Outside with the catcher, Familiar, also setting up out there. Haddon Heights 12-2 on the season. They lost on opening day to Sterling and lost to Collingwood 5-4, otherwise unbeaten. 1-2. Swing and a miss. There's 197 for Chiron. 2 down. And that will now bring up the cleanup man for Haddon Heights. That being Ferrugia. Richard Ferrugia, the DH. Chiron is set. Strike called. He is grooving here in the early going. Ferrugia batting .333 in his first varsity season. 12 RBIs, 13 for 39. Inside. Runner will get down to second base as no throw from Familiar. I think if there's any team that is going to be Delsea's biggest challenge, Haddon Heights could be that one. A team that they're a little bit unfamiliar with. Certainly uncharted waters this year. Down. Delsea, as we mentioned in the very brief open, 14-0. 6-0 in the Tri-County Liberty Division. That's a throwback to second. He got him. Chiron gets the runner, beached down at second, and Lackall is retired to end the inning. Chiron strikes out 2 as he inches closer to 200 in his career. He's at 197. As a star-studded event set to change hands, we go to the bottom of the first. No score. Haddon Heights with a scoreless first. They bring up Delsea to start off the bottom half. Let's introduce what Delsea's got in store versus the right-hander Dakota Spizak. The starting lineup for Delsea this afternoon will have Ethan Dubois at short, followed up by Milo Gebhard in center field. Cole Hudson at third, Nick Wokienko at second, Alex Grippo in left, and then the final 6 through 9. Charles 6 is the DH, Gavin Deegan at first, Jack Familiar at the catcher spot, and Austin Buchanan, the LaSalle commit, in right field. It's a strike called. Little looper there from Spizak. Haddon Heights sent 4 men to the plate, but the fourth at-bat was cut short on a pickoff attempt at second. Haddon Heights won their first-round game versus Sterling 10-4. Meanwhile, Delsea barely staved off Absegami 7-6 in their first-round matchup. As Dubois, the shortstop, steps in, 0-1. Fastball doesn't go. 1-1 there. Spizak is making his first appearance of the year as a pitcher. That is launched to left but foul. Oh my goodness, he sent that one off the top of the pole in the batting cages down the left field line. It's a foul ball, but it's certainly a momentous one at that. Should be noted the home plate umpire gave Delsea a bit of a, not a reprimand, but a informal warning for some of the chirp they were giving Spizak as he was warming up. Swung at it high, goes over to Londino at third. Third base coach tried to do a fun flip to the third baseman, but ended up just delaying the game a little bit in that. Londino with a smile on his face. He's the first-year head coach taking over for Joe Smith, who left the program after a sectional title in 2024 to go to Mainland and join forces with Billy Kern down there in Atlantic County and Linwood. But Delsea still seems to be thriving without him. That one's launched to left. That one is foul. Two balls, two strikes from Spizak to the shortstop Dubois, excuse me, as Londino asked me to say. This is the 7th pitch of the at-bat, and it will hit him. Hit by pitch for Dubois. I keep saying that because that's how 99% of them are said. But he does get down to first base safely. Here is Milo Gebhard. The center fielder in today's contest. He's a sophomore and hits this ball out towards right field. It's down the line. It is foul. 0-1. Gebhard batting .257 in his career. This year, .241. 7 for 29. 5 RBIs and 11 walks, along with a staggering 8 hit by pitches. Had 6 at-bats last year. They're going to throw it down to second. Runner didn't go. And Delsea giving Kevin Clark some ribbing for faking him out. The runner went and then immediately turned around. Clark threw it down to second anyway with nobody biting. Here's the 1-1 bunt. Strike called, 1-2. One-two, swing and a miss. Gebhard goes down on strikes, and there's one away. That'll bring up the number 3 man, Hudson. Sometimes a wild card can be the best card you can have. We saw it with South Jersey Group 1 playoffs last year with, I want to say it was one of their openers, Mike Valente. He was an opener for the team and now has some good pitching work for Woodstown. The count is 1-0 as that one missed to Hudson. Cole Hudson across 4 varsity seasons, batting .337. 4 career home runs, including 2 this season. In the dirt, runner gets down standing. Delsea's got to be one of the loudest teams in South Jersey, at least so far. And the reason why they can be loud is because they've backed it up. Again, 14-0, you know. I like to sing the phrase, sing when you're winning. Well, Delsea's winning, and they've been singing. And it's 2-0. 13 pitches for Spizak here in the bottom of the first. No score, runner on second. A little looping changeup there makes it 2-1. No, excuse me, 3-0 here. Ball missed. Runner had to take time at second. Hudson, a career .337 hitter, 62 hits this season, 15 for 36, 12 RBIs, and 4 extra base hits. 2 doubles, 2 homers. Homered versus Shawnee on April 25th on Friday. Last Friday. Strike called. 3-0, got the red light and got the strike called. 3-1 here. Hudson to be followed by Mokienko for the Crusaders, led by, again, first-year head coach Vincent Londino. And even though this is his first year as a head coach, it's been a long time coming for the Crusaders. As if you remember, Londino was an assistant during the late 2010s at Gloucester Catholic. I mean, those teams, if you thought that these Gloucester Catholic teams are good, The 2010s Gloucester Catholics from like 2017 to 2019 may have quite literally been unstoppable. I'd argue they'd give a good fight versus if you put everybody back in their prime, they'd have a darn good fight against those two good teams. Ooh. Delsea wanted a balk there. There was some abnormal movement. A little bit of a staggered leg kick. They didn't call it though, and it's 1-0. And now Lundino's unhappy. He was saying, this isn't JV baseball, you don't get a warning. And he is right about that. I think these guys are lucky it didn't happen in like the top of the 7th inning where a balk could decide the game. This is a relatively low-stakes situation here. However, Delsea does have a big chance to get on the board and a big chance to put their name on the map here in this Saturday afternoon second game of this doubleheader. 1-1. Another one misses. 2-1 here for Spisak. We're no stranger to Haddon Heights. We were supposed to cover them earlier this year, and we'll be covering them on Thursday versus Audubon in Colonial Classic rivalry. 2-1. That is there's no call there, and they're going to call it a dead ball. 2-2. And we're always familiar with the Haddon Heights community. My mom graduated from Haddon Heights as a Garnet. Dad went to Hamilton West. That's a little bit further away from home, but right in our backyard. Still got our grandparents right near the train tracks. It's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Spisak looks back at second. 2 runners on for Mokienko. Pokes one down the right field line, and it's foul. We've seen Delsea twice on DWB, both one-off appearances in baseball, 2023 versus Triton and 2024 in the Thank You Classic versus Notre Dame. Here's the 2-2. That's laced out to left, and just some unlucky foul balls for Delsea. However, they have worked Spisak to the bone. That is his 22nd pitch of the first inning. As Mokienko to be followed by Grippo, the 5th hitter for Delsea. They've sent 4 to the plate. And just for perspective, Chiron only had to throw 14 pitches to get out of the first unscathed. And this could cause some scratches in the scoreboard here. Strike 3 right down the middle, and Mokienko goes down on strikes. It's the 2nd K for Spisak, and that's out number 2 here in the first. As now batting will be Alex Grippo, the senior. 12 for 43, had no more than 10 at-bats in his last 2 varsity seasons, had 10 combined in 2023 and 2024 with the senior-heavy Crusaders, who lost George Starr last year, among others. They still have Austin Buchanan, though, who's hitting in the 9 spot today. The commit to LaSalle. Hot shot, foul ball down the left field line, and it's 1-1. Grippo, a 3-sport athlete for Delsea, committed to East Stroudsburg, the Division II program for football, not for baseball. Was mostly a pinch runner in 23 and 24. Again, had 1 at-bat as a sophomore, 9 as a junior. This is his 43rd as a senior. 1 ball, 1 strike after a ringing foul ball down the left field line. Strike. Bit of a delayed call there. It was the right one, and it's 1-2. 5, 6, and 7 for Haddon Heights in the top of the second. It'll be Jackson Mata, Carter Zatuski, and Ryan Gavito. 2 outs, 2 on, looking to keep Delsea at bay here in the first. 1-2. Oh, he got a hanger out to left center field. It's up, it's back, it's off the wall. 1 run's gonna score. Grippo gets into second. Green light from Lundino. Rally throw is not in time. It's a 2-run double for Alex Grippo. And the future East Stroudsburg Warrior puts a cannon into a ball and laces it to left center for a 2-run double. 2-0. Delsea. And even after the strikeout looking didn't phase Grippo there in the at-bat after him, Hudson came in to score from first as a good rally went short. And now here will be the number 6 hitter. I mean, this has to be some kind of intervention here. Charles Six, his last name is Six, S-I-X. He is wearing number 6. And where is he batting? In the 6th slot. I know we talked about Seneca's pitcher last night who came in with a 6.66 ERA. This is getting too real. I might have to run away from this broadcast. Here's the first pitch, ground ball. Six sends it to the 6 hole. Throw across is in time. No, he didn't get there. First baseman bobbled the ball. And Charles Six will now take advantage of a Haddon Heights E6 as the 6th batter of the game gets himself on, moving Grippo down the 3rd. Now for the left-hander, Deegan. 7th man to hit for the Crusaders. Deegan and then Jax Familiar, the catcher, if the inning continues. Stepping off here. Delsea chirping it up here with 2 outs, 2 runs home. Ground ball in the first pitch, foul over towards the first base coach. Good play there. Gavin Deegan, the senior. Strike called, 0-2. 333 hitter and 12 at-bats. 1 RBI, 1 hit by pitch, and 2 stolen bases. Had a 2-hit game on Friday in the Diamond Classic opener versus Absegami. Another dribbler foul over towards first. I'll tell you, Delsea's dugout antics may get them in trouble if Eric Newell doesn't approve of it. He's one of those passionate coaches. Newell's one of those guys that will call things out when he doesn't like it. But Delsea leads 2-0. They got a 2-run double off the bat of Alex Grippo. And this is pitch number 32. A dribbler to second base. Throw to first is in time, and the side is retired. Delsea puts up 2 as a ringing double out to left center field just beneath the scoreboard off the bat of Grippo. Brings home 2. And Vincent Lundino and Delsea in good hands here with Frank Chiron. 2-0 after 1. Frank Chiron still out for the second inning. He struck out 2. He's at 197 in his career. Oftentimes, it's a momentous accomplishment for a pitcher to reach 100 strikeouts over the course of a 4-year varsity career. Well, for him, it's 200. He struck out 44 batters this year, making that 45 and 46 after the first inning. As the designated hitter, Ferrugia, misses high. It's 4, 5, and 6. Ferrugia started his at-bat in the top half of the second. However, he got his partner in crime picked off at second. Ooh, strike on the inside corner there. It's Ferrugia followed by Jackson Mata and Carter Zatuski, 4, 5, and 6. Late swing there. Two strikeouts and a single in the first inning against Chiron. Had 14 pitches in the first. 1-2. Inside. Ferrugia stays alive. Two. Way high. 3-2. Full count. 198. Chiron with his third. Strikes out Ferrugia swinging, and it's now Jackson Mata, the junior. Again to be followed up by the right fielder, Carter Zatuski. Mata takes outside, 1-0. From Chiron, the commit to Coastal Carolina. That's a bullet foul. Look out. That almost decapitated someone in the Garnet dugout. Well, usually injuries happen on the field. That one was very close to being an injury off the field. Dribbler. Is it a fair ball or foul ball? Chiron's going to throw it to first. No call. Now the umpires are going to conference. Well, Delsea's throwing it around the infield. So, I'm not sure. I mean, Mata never ran out of the box. And there wasn't really a clear call either way. They call him out. So Mata is called out on what is going to be a 1-3 putout. And that'll be 2 outs here for Zatuski now. Here's the first pitch. Outside. Zatuski, the right fielder for the Garnets. The strike called there. 1-1. Zatuski, a freshman, 294 hitter in his rookie season. 5 for 17 and a swing and a miss. As Chiron, the senior, again coming into this one with 195 strikeouts, could end the inning with 199. The 1-2, high and away. Delsea, who scored 2 and sent 7 men to the plate in the first, will bat Familiar, Buchanan, and Du Bois. 8-9-1 for the Crusaders under Lundino. 2-2. Got a piece of it. I think the closer you get to the bottom of the order, the easier it'll get for Chiron. Haddon Heights seems like one of those lineups that has been decently top-heavy this year. Not to say that 7, 8, and 9 guys aren't going to do anything, but Gavito, Bagley, and Camara, it seems like Chiron all over this year has been very good versus the 7, 8, and 9 guys. Outside, 3-2. And Haddon Heights' game here may just be working Chiron to the bone. Matching that fastball, fouling him off because he's up to 29 pitches. This is number 30 for the left-hander. Outside, free pass. Chiron puts his hand on his chest in an apology to his catcher. And it's his first free pass of the day, bringing up the second baseman, Gavito. Umpire was just telling the pitcher, Chiron, you got to wait for us to be ready, as in the umpires. First pitch. Out towards right. This one's out of play for Gavito, 0-1. I mean, the umpires have certainly made their presence known in Game 2, a completely different crew from Game 1 with RV and Eustace. Ground ball into the cue shot. What a throw to second base. He's safe. Everyone is safe. Dubois unhappy with the call. It will be an infield single for Gavito, or maybe a fielder's choice, as a little cue shot that just perfectly snuck its way into the 5 and 6 hole allows Begley to bat here. As again, the scouts prepare their radar guns for Chiron, who pumps a strike. Oh, 1. That ball is foul. It's 0-2. Here on a windy day at Timber Creek in Sicklerville. 0-2. He got him, 199. And Haddon Heights gets 2 runners on a fielder's choice and a walk, but the inning is over. Delsea grabs some more bats in the bottom of the second, 2-0 Crusaders. One and a half through. The LaSalle commit, Austin Buchanan, leads us off as that one's outside. We've talked about LaSalle's program at decent length during these broadcasts. Set to return in 2026 after a 7-year hiatus. The program was cut pre-COVID. This is a pop-up, could be in play. Who's got it? Begley makes the catch, 1 away. Buchanan is retired, and we'll turn the lineup card back over to the top half. Or actually, I apologize. That was Familiar. Now it's Buchanan. So, I'm not perfect. And nobody else should expect to be. Neither is Frank Chiron. He allowed a hit in the first inning and a walk and a fielder's choice in the second. Big swing by Buchanan. 0-1. As we said, though, the LaSalle Explorers program was cut before COVID. Their Their football program also ended up being a big casualty in that, although that was before LaSalle's baseball program was cut. I think LaSalle's football program was cut around 2011, 2012, and then their baseball program was, I think, 6 or 7 years later in 2018 and 19. But the good news is they brought back their old head coach from the last time LaSalle had a program, and they've recruited heavily in South Jersey. Austin Buchanan, Josh Manganiello of Williamstown, Zanichi Steve of Moorestown in the Olympic Conference. And not to mention, not a New Jersey kid, but LaSalle also has a commit in Pete Rose's grandson, Pete Rose III, who will be headed to LaSalle when the program reopens in 2026. Inside, Buchanan backs out, and it's 3-1. This is going to be a game that could very quickly devolve into a bullpen game. Chiron already warming up behind the dugout. Maybe if Delsea has a couple more offensive outbursts. Both pitchers in the second inning are well above their trajectory. This is pitch number 39. As the 3-1 is a big swing and a miss. Fastball fooled him, and it's 3-2. Again, I mean, if you're Haddon Heights, you've played a lot recently, and you're 12-2. Had a win on Wednesday versus Sterling in the first round of the Diamond. Best thing you can do is you can throw a guy who literally has no scouting report. Swing and a miss. Buchanan picks up a strikeout. It's the third for the right-hander. And we go back to the top of the card for Du Bois. It's definitely a gutsy move by Haddon Heights, but right now, a clean second. Dubois pops it up. Lackall going out for it. He's guarding the sun. It drops. Base hit. It fell right between the center fielder Butler. Lackall went down. And Du Bois reaches base for the second time today as he picks up an unfortunate base hit to bring up Milo Gebhard. Latchall committed to Penn State Abington. Of course, Haddon Heights had a big senior class full of Division I commits, hence why they went to back-to-back sectional championships versus Seneca. Back-to-back years, back-to-back matchups, and back-to-back results. As it's 0-1. Swing and a miss, it's 0-2. Gebhard to be followed by Hudson. Here's the 0-2. Strike three on the inside corner. Make that 4 for the right-hander. Dakota Spence, and the inning is over. Delsea held scoreless, but they do get a little bit of a break thanks to a Sun-aided single in the bottom half. Go to the top of the third here at Timber Creek at the neutral site of the Diamond Classic, 2-0. Well, if you're tuning in, now is a good time as Frank Chiron is at 199 career strikeouts. The first pitch is away. 1-0. He struck out 4 so far. Delsea brought up 4 men in the bottom of the second inning, did not score. As Haddon Heights gets us started with Camerat, the number 9 hitter. Strike 1. He has struck out Butler, Clark, Ferrugia, and Begley. 1-1. And a strike 2. All Delsea players on the top rail. A couple of parents with phones out, waiting for the pitch. The 1-2 is going to be down. 2-2. Delsea scored 2 runs in the bottom of the first thanks to a ringing double off the bat of Alex Grippo. Went scoreless in the second. Pitch number 40 for Chiron is down, and it's 3-2. He'll just have to wait a little bit longer. Heights dugout clapping it up. The 3-2 to Camerat. Swing and a miss! That is number 200 for Frank Chiron. They want the baseball back. It's his 5th strikeout of the game, and that reaction was actually a little bit lackluster. Thought we were going to see a big cheer from the Delsea crowd, but maybe this is just the expectation for Frank Chiron, a pitcher so good that reaching that strikeout milestone doesn't even matter. That's a swing and a miss to Butler. It is his 5th strikeout of the day. He came into the matchup with 195, and now is in the 3rd inning with 200 for the Coastal Carolina commit, who has been drawing professional eyes for a couple of months now. Again, still, as long as he's here, I mean, it's no secret that all of the people behind home plate with the radar guns and the cameras, they are here for one man only, Frank Chiron. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. I mean, just a lot of media. Not just radar guns, cameras, photographers. This is a good matchup. A lot of fans on both sides of the bleachers to our left and to our right. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. There's number 6. As Delsea's dugout in unison yells sword to mark the strikeout. Here's Latchall, the Penn State Abington commit. Penn State Abington, luckily not one of the sub-campuses for Penn State that was threatened by Penn State's announcement that some of their sub-campuses, especially in more rural parts of PA, will close. Abington does not appear to be one of them. A very good baseball program over there. Matthew Johansson of Absegami is there. Got to see a lot of him during the summer for the Braves. His count is 1-0 to Latchall. Has the game's only hit for the Garnets. Or not the game's only hit. Ooh, Latchall disagreed with the call. Kind of a dissenting wince. He didn't tell the umpire he thought he was wrong. He just went, eesh. It's kind of all he said. 1-1. Swing and a miss there. Chiron with back-to-back Ks. His first of the inning was number 200. And the 1-2. Oh, that one's going to hurt. Latchall with his adrenaline-fueled trot to first. Haddon Heights will have a shipment of ibuprofen in tomorrow as he gets hit on the back shoulder. And for Chiron, he's topped out at 94 miles an hour this year from the left side. I'll tell you this, Frank Chiron would be an excellent pitcher if he was a righty, but the fact that he throws 94 from the left side is what makes him appealing. What I like to say about left-handers, Chiron being one of them, Henry Radbill of Cherokee. Hold on here, fly ball left field. This could drop. It will drop for a base hit for Kevin Clark. The lefty-lefty matchup weighs in the favor of the Garnets, and they've got 2 runners on as the Rock is starting to heat up here from Ariel and Sicklerville as a hit-by pitch to Latchall and a base hit by Clark sets the stage for the DH Ferrugia in the 4 slot. But either way, you know, just talking about, that was Chiron's 50th pitch, but Lefties in high school are worth their weight in gold. 2 outs, fly ball foul, down the right field line. So Chiron with 7 strikeouts. I mean, we are seeing all of the stars of South Jersey baseball. Chase Kroberger of Morristown last night. Now we're seeing somebody with MLB draft potential as he throws to Latchall. Didn't really throw to his shortstop, he threw to the runner. The runner is safe and gives maybe Latchall a little scare. 0-1. Here's the pitch. And there's a strike. Oh-2. Ground ball. Chopped on the ground to third. They yield on the tag, and the throw is in time. Garnets leave 2 runners on, but you know what? They've worked up Frank Chiron's pitch count. He is at 53 through 3. We go to the bottom half of the third here at Timber Creek. It is 2-0 Delsea. Bottom of the third. This broadcast is brought to you by Harper Driving School. Over 90% of students who take their New Jersey State driving test with Harper pass on the first attempt. If you like those odds, you can book an appointment at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman at 614 Lambs Road. Delsea 2, Haddon Heights 0. Frank Chiron in the top half picked up his 200th strikeout. Haddon Heights left 2 runners on, and like we said, even though Heights doesn't have any on the board, props to them for getting Chiron's pitch count as high as it is, and probably takes him out of the running for throwing a complete game if this score stays where it is. Again, Grippo had a 2-run double in the first. That's been the only runs to score today. Except maybe now. Oh, no, that ball's going to stay in the air to left. The wind will carry it in. And that's a fly out for Hudson. Now to bring up Mokienko. Again, meat of the order for Delsea. 3, 4, and 5. Mokienko is 0 for 1. Flew out to left his first time. Let's take a look at the week ahead on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. On Sunday, we'll be at Belmar all day for ball hockey. The first game, probably starting at around 9 or 10 in the morning, we'll be at Belmar for the ABHA, American Ball Hockey Alliance Eastern Regionals. Then on Monday, back in the action with the Olympic Conference. Matchup between Bishop Eustis and Cherry Hill West at 3:45 on Monday. And then the Elmer Classic on Tuesday night. It'll be Woodstown and Shalleck. That's a bullet to left field, a base hit. Mokienko picks up the single. And now Grippo, who had the first 2 runs of the game, will bat here in the bottom of the third. From Spizak to Grippo. Two balls, no strikes. Two balls, no strikes, and the pitch. That'll skip away. The big backstop at Timber Creek will allow Clark to pick it up, but a runner does move up to second. Mokienko gets up there. And Grippo takes a 4-pitch walk, as now here will be 6. He reached on an E6, ironically enough, in the first inning. And now Eric Newell coming out as both pitchers quite exactly at 53 pitches, Spizak for Haddon Heights, and they will make a change. After 2 1/3, Spizak struck out 4 and honestly held Delsea pretty well. 14-0, one of the top 10 teams in South Jersey, let alone top 10 team in New Jersey. Spizak, despite his limited scouting report, did very well. They'll make a couple of defensive changes, and we'll be right back with a Haddon Heights pitching change here in the bottom of the third.
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
New pitcher for Haddon Heights is Jackson Butler. He has 1 inning this year, 15 pitches, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. All of that was on opening day versus Sterling. So it's been 1 month and 2 days since Butler last took the mound, but there were some defensive changes for Haddon Heights. With Spizak coming out of the game, he technically moved to center field, but he switched with Jackson Butler, who moved from center field to the mound. Will Loveledge is now in center field, taking over for Butler, who is now on the mound and taking over for Spizak, who moved to center. 1 away, up and in, to 6, and it's 1-0. One ball, no strikes. And the pitch. Popped up over our heads and out of play. One ball, 1 strike to 6, the 6-hitter who reached on an E6 his first time. Time called at the plate. 2-0 Delsea. Chiron has struck out 7 in his first 3 innings. And the pitch. Bullet over the middle. That's a base hit. Skimmed off the pitcher's mound. Green light at third. Coming home is Hudson. Mokienko will score, excuse me. It's now 3-0 on an RBI base hit off the bat of 6. And he makes it what is half of 6, a 3-0 ball game. Wow. That one just missed, and it's 1-0. That was kind of inadvertent. That was kind of like a slip of the tongue for me. Didn't mean to say that so loudly. Don't want to make any enemies here. There's a fly ball, center field. This one's pretty deep, going back to the track, to the wall. It will bounce off the wall. That'll be a base hit for Deegan. Coming around third, he's going to try to score. The throw into the plate is not in time. It's a 2-run double for Delsea, as the unbeaten Crusaders have stormed into the lead and extend it to 5-0 on a 2-run double by Gavin Deegan, the senior. They'll bring up Jack's Familiar here. Back-to-back RBIs, an RBI single by 6, and now a 2-run double that scores 6, and Grippo. 3 spot for Delsea here, and they lead 5-0. Way high to Familiar, still only 1 out, so Buchanan will be next. (1-0). No, 2-0. That part of the zone has just been seldom called here. Looking back at second, the only runner there. And that one is low. A couple of good frames by Clark. I mean, those are close, but it's 3-0. And maybe a green light here for Buchanan, given direction from the third base coach and head coach, Vincent Lundino. Well, if the first game was any indicator, it ain't over till it's over. And Delsea for sure has put themselves in a good spot here. 5-0 as Haddon Heights going into the lesser known parts of their bullpen. 3-1 here to Familiar. Again, the LaSalle commit, Austin Buchanan, is next. And when you have a Division I commit in your 9th spot in the order, that means you've got a darn good ball club. 3-1. It's in the dirt. That's kind of like a basketball team having a Division I commit that doesn't start the game. You know, that's just kind of how it is. We're going to have a runner at first. runner is Cooper Mulhern, who's taking over for the catcher. And of course, that being Familiar. We've been familiar with Delsea before. They made their DWB debut on May 16th, 2023 in a home game versus Triton. There's a strike called. We also saw them in 2024 in the Thank You Classic over in Belmar versus Notre Dame, a game that was such a weird game. It was 8-0, but it ended in the 6th inning because of a light that went out over the first base side, and it became too dark to play. So a light went out in the middle of the inning. They played through it, but then at the end of the inning, the umpire said it's too dark and too dangerous to play since the night had already completely fallen on the Belmar Recreational Center. And the final score of that one in 6 innings was 8-0. 2-0. Back pick, first base, throw to first by Clark, not in time. And Mulhern gets in there. It's 2-1 here. Oh, 1-2, excuse me. Five 5-0 Delsea, 1-2 count. They've scored 3 here in the bottom of the 3rd. Here's the pitch. 1-2 is low. 2-2 now. Seems like just some control issues for both pitchers here today. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. 2-2. Swing and a miss. That is the 5th staff strikeout for the Garnets. And there's the 2nd out. So Buchanan strikes out, and we do go back to the top for Du Bois, the shortstop, who is the 8th batter of the inning. Butler steps off. Buchanan has struck out twice today. The inning started on a Cole Hudson fly out to left. We saw a single, walk, an RBI single, and a 2-run double ringing the center field off the bat of Gavin Deegan. Strike called on the inside corner. That strike zone just seems ever so slightly shifted. Again, this broadcast is brought to you by Garden State Pet Center. Keep your pet happy and healthy with the most organic food products available in South Jersey. You can visit today 7 days a week at 226 South White Horse Pike in Audubon. The 0-1. Another one. That umpire's faking me out. I keep thinking he's not going to call it, and then he just eases into it. Calls it a strike. I like the smooth motions like that. Garnets do have a right-hander warming up in the pen down the left field line. The shared bullpen. Swing and a miss. Runner's got to go down to first. Throw down is in time. Begley brings it in to retire the side. 2 strikeouts for the right-hander Jackson Butler out of the bullpen as he throws 18 pitches in relief. Delsea adds 3 more thanks to a 2-run ringing double by Gavin Deegan. They leave 2 on and 8 men come to the plate. We go to the 4th in a 5-0 game. Top of the fourth inning here in Timber Creek as the leadoff man for Haddon Heights. As 8 men came to the plate for Delsea in the third, it now turns over to the Garnets for Jackson Mata. It'll be Mata, Zatuski, and Gavito. Strike one. Mata tapped out to the pitcher his first time as the wind picking up here. Taking our tripod for a ride, lifted it from under its feet. And it's 1-1. It's time for DWB Trivia Time. Today's question is, we'll pop it up on screen there. Outside of California, what U.S. state has produced the most Major League Baseball players of all time? Is it A, Florida, B, Pennsylvania, C, New York, or D, Ohio? The answer will be revealed in the bottom of the fourth inning. Little dribbler. Well, Mata got out controversially the first time, and he'll do it again the second time. That's the second at-bat in a row. Mata thought it was a foul ball that hit him. You'd imagine he's getting pretty frustrated over that. There's one away. Here's Zatuski. By the way, Dakota Spizak, his first appearance of the season, he dedicated that start to his cousin, Danielle, who is fighting breast cancer. Danielle, we wish you the best of luck in your recovery and your battle. And we've had some... That hits a little bit home. We did have a family friend of ours who recently passed away from metastatic breast cancer. And we know that it's not an easy fight. So to Danielle, wherever you are out there, if you're listening, we wish you the best of luck. And we wish you the best of luck with the Garnets the rest of the way. Mata taps out, 3 unassisted. And it is an 0-2 count now to Zatuski. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. That will be strikeout number 8 for Chiron. And now it will be Gavito. Haddon Heights and Coastal Carolina, along with Delsea and Coastal Carolina, they're pretty familiar. Again, Frank Chiron, the left-hander, is committed to Coastal Carolina if a Major League Baseball team doesn't come knocking in June. However, the class of 2022, if you remember, the first ever year Dan Wilkins Broadcasting did baseball, Caden Bodine was committed to Coastal Carolina. He right now is projected as a junior with the Chanticleers to be an early second-round draft pick. So he would join a very good class. I mean, 2021 had a lot of good players. Chase Petty recently just got called up to the Cincinnati Reds out of Mainland, as this one's popped up. Petty was actually drafted out of high school, along with Anthony Salamito of Bishop Eustis. He's in the Pirates organization right now. I tell people, South Jersey is a baseball region, and it's a baseball powerhouse. And people like Chiron prove it. Strike 3. He's got 9. He fires up the Delsea dugout, takes a twirl around the hill, and the inning is over. They keep the Heights Garnets off the board. He struck out 9 through 4. It is 5-0 Delsea going to the bottom half. 5-0 Delsea in the bottom of the fourth with Jackson Butler on the hill in relief. He threw 17 pitches. 8 batters came to the plate for Delsea. As that one is hit out towards right field by Gebhard. Feel some sprinkles. There's a gray cloud over us. Welcome to New Jersey. It's sunny and it's raining. It's 1-1. Oh my gosh. Gebhard, Hudson, and Mokienko. Wasn't there like a 0% chance of rain today? There is literally one gray cloud above us. And it's just sprinkling. It's dark in right field and it's sunny behind the plate as it's 2-1 from Butler to Gebhard. At the knees, strike called 2-2. Gebhard 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. Two balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. Ground ball out to second base. It's picked up. A high bounce in the infield, and it's in time. I thought maybe somebody was spraying me with a water hose. We got to get these umbrellas up as Gebhard is retired. We didn't even bring our rain gear because the forecast was looking that good. I can't say this has happened to us before. Only on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting can it rain right above you while the sun is out. But here's Hudson. He started off the third. Here in the bottom of the fourth now, that one misses. Like we said, we're very familiar with the Haddon Heights community. Got some family in Haddon Heights. Like I said, my mom went there. One of our top producers, Vincent Vogt, went there, class of 23. Good friend of ours now at Camden County College after a gap year. That one skips in, and it's 2-0. For Haddon Heights, this is actually their 15th appearance on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting with a record of 7-7 in their first 14 games. (2-0). Strike called. 2-1 now. Hudson 0 for 1, a flyout and a walk to his name today. Ground ball out to short. A hot shot. Hudson coming up a little bit short there. Oh, he's safe. He didn't hustle through the bag, but he got safe anyway. And now Newell is coming out. Let's see what the discussion is here between the first base. First of all, he would have been safe. They do call him safe there. And they will have a runner for Hudson. So Hudson will come out as a pinch runner. Remember, in high school, starters can be substituted once and re-enter. The pinch runner is Ryan Luby. And again, Hudson in the top of the fifth will re-enter at third base, according straight out of the mouth of Londino. Strike called. Let's take a look at DWB trivia time. Again, today's question is, out of the U.S. state of California, outside of California, which U.S. state has produced the most MLB players of all time? Is it A, Florida, B, Pennsylvania, C, New York, or D, Ohio? Popped up down the right field line and foul. Producer of the day, Damian Waiters. You were 0 for 1 on your last guess. What's your guess today? You would be correct. Pennsylvania is indeed correct. They have about a 100-player lead on New York. Florida is in 4th, and Ohio is in 6th. And if you're curious, New Jersey's right around the top 15. That one skips in. The rain is blowing with the wind. It's actually picking up a little bit. It's hitting us at our backs. I don't think this was on the forecast. At least I don't think it was. It's 1-2, though. Runner goes. Throw down to second is in time. He got him. Close call. But Luby, after being run for, or I should say after running for Hudson, is in there. Cracked out towards short. This is picked up. Throw to first is in time, and the inning is over. Garnets keep Delsea off the board, and after 4 here at Timber Creek, it is 5-0 Crusaders. Base hit in the center field to start the 5th off of Chiron. As Haddon Heights, whoa! That umbrella ended up not lasting long. Might have to keep a hand on this one. I think one of the latches broke. Oh yeah, that umbrella is not doing very well. The wind just kind of propelled it. We're gonna take this down. Yeah, that umbrella just got completely shattered by the wind. One of the latches got crossed up, and so we've got an umbrella casualty here at Timber Creek. Got a strike called. Count is 0-2 here. Again to number 15, Camaro, after the base hit by Begley. Swing and a miss, went away. That's 10 for Chiron. And we get the lineup card back over to Jackson Butler. Strike, 0-1. I mean, Chiron now at 70 pitches. We said before, after the first 3, that it was unlikely he would go the distance. Honestly, if the most he can do is 110, that's doable. If Londino has that long of a leash. There's a strike there. Called against Butler, and it's 0-2. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, all 3 of them look like washouts, but that's going to skip up. Catcher doesn't know where it is. It lands in front of him, and it landed in front of the foul line. This rain's really starting to come down now. It's just straight above us. This was, in no part was this on the forecast. The 1-2, grounded right back to Chiron. Looks back at second. Runner will break for third. He tags the bag. That's the second out. Two outs. And the pitch. Up and in. It's 2-0 now. What is it with every time we cover Haddon Heights, it starts pouring rain? Man, this is not going to be good. We don't have our rain gear. It wasn't supposed to rain. Heights are going to get a run. 5-1. Count is 3-0 with 2 away. Chiron in a little bit of trouble. Look out, that almost hit him. And Latchall, who was hit earlier in the game, advances to first. At least on Apple Weather, it says rain is expected to stop in 8 minutes and won't return until 10 a.m. tomorrow. You know what we're supposed to do at 10 a.m. tomorrow? Go on the air in Belmar in the Eastern Regionals. But this might be a precursor of what's to come. Some thunderstorm threats tomorrow. And that walk there to Latchall could be a product of the ball getting a little slippier for Chiron. Sometimes if you're used to hanging on all day, and if you're used to a dry baseball all day, when the rain starts coming down in the middle of the game, then it ends up being a problem. That one's fouled back, straight onto the JV field. But, by the way, a final already. Overbrook has already finished their games for the day. Mainland beat Northern Burlington 4-2. That's a swing and a miss. By the way, we've got a big upset alert. The 24 seed Haddonfield Bulldogs lead Eastern 5-0 in the fourth. Vikings are held to just one hit. That hit off the umpire's head, and it's 1-2. That would be huge if they beat Eastern at their own helpful regional. Runner will go back on the foul ball. That is strike 3. 11 Ks for Frank Chiron, and he is rolling. 5-1 as Haddon Heights does get a run on a wild pitch or passed ball, one of the two, and they do leave a runner on. We'll be right back. Bottom of the fifth, this broadcast is brought to you by the Rowan College of South Jersey at Gloucester. The Roadrunners, winners on the field and winners in the classroom. You can become a prospective athlete of the Roadrunners today by filling out their prospective athlete form at rcroadrunners.com, along with following them on their social media platform at RC Roadrunners. Grippo leads us off in the bottom of the fifth. New pitcher for Haddon Heights is number 25. That being the right-hander Christian Loveledge, presumably related to number 5, Will Loveledge. Here's the 1-1. Grounder over to Lendino, goes right over his hands. It's 5-1 in the bottom of the fifth. Delsea got on the board early thanks to Grippo and a 2-run double. They scored 3 in the bottom half of the third with 8 batters coming up to the plate. And as some people have fled the scene thanks to the now gone rain, and when Skip's in, it's 2-2. Still a good crowd on hand. Loveledge, the freshman, his first appearance of the year. In fact, just his second appearance on either side of the ball. Had one at-bat in a 22-1 win over Paulsboro earlier in the month. Popped up. Loveledge yields to his first baseman, Begley, who fights the sun, who just popped out in time for him to make the catch. 1 away. So here is 6. 5-1. Haddon Heights got their first run of the day thanks to a passed ball in the top of the fifth. Time called at the plate. Delsea, one of 5 remaining undefeated teams in the state. There were 6 going into the weekend, but Haddonfield beat Shalleck on Thursday to give Shalleck and the Cougars their first loss. Loveledge misses high. CJ Loveledge, not Will. Chiron, by the way, correction, he's at 83 pitches, but he has 10 strikeouts, not 11. That is launched. Left field. This one's got some distance to it. Going back to the wall. It's gone! That one just cleared the fence in left field, and 6 leaves the park as it barely got over the fence in left field. A solo shot here at Timber Creek, a division rival of the Crusaders, but at a neutral site today. It is 6-1. Barely got that one out over the wall. As Charles 6 homers, his second of the year. He homered on the 28th in a 12-0 win over Highland, as the freshman Loveledge runs into a home run here. Here is Gavin Deegan, 2-run double, 2-run RBI double in the third. 1 for 2. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two balls, 1 strike. 2 balls, 1 strike from CJ Loveledge. Swing and a miss. Fastball late on Deegan, as the bar is high after the home run by Charles 6. Time called at the plate. Next up would be Jax Familiar, who walked in his last at-bat. He's 0 for 1 with a pop-out in his other at-bat. 2-2 at the letters. 3-2 now. The 5 undefeated teams remaining in South Jersey. Actually, I'm sorry, there's 4 in South Jersey, 5 in the state. Gloucester Catholic, Cherokee, Delsea being one of them, and then Northern Burlington, who picked up a win over Mainland 4-2 in the second round of the Diamond to stay unbeaten at an 18-0 record. Meanwhile, Gloucester Catholic, they're only 11-0. Some teams have played plenty of more games than others. Some packed their schedule in April, some have spread it out a little more. And also you have to consider that if you're going to the Diamond Classic Championship, you're playing 5 games in the round of 32, 16, 8, 4 in the championship. Familiar grounds it foul. There's one away. Back-to-back runners have reached off of Loveridge. The home run that barely, and I mean barely, cleared the fence and left. Familiar out to left field. However, it's up and it's caught. Heights brings it down with Mata. There's 2 down now, as Buchanan is the batter. Buchanan, the 9-hitter, batting with a runner on. Buchanan with 110% on that swing, got on top of it, and it's 0-1. First 3 for Haddon Heights in the top of the 6th will be Ferrugia, Mata, and Zatuski, 4, 5, and 6. As 2 very good teams, Haddon Heights 12-2, Delsea 14-0, with a 6-0 undefeated record in the Tri-County Liberty. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss, back pick. Throw down not in time. It's 0-2. I think Buchanan may have made contact with that either way. Here's the 0-2. Inside. One ball, 2 strikes. The freshman, C.J. Loveridge, dealing with the LaSalle commit, Buchanan. Fly ball, right field. This is down towards the corner, going in and making the catch to retire the side. Will be the right fielder, Zatuski. He will bat in the top of the 6th inning as Delsea gets a run back on a towering but short home run off the bat of Charles Six. We'll be right back. Top of the 6th, the week ahead on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. On Sunday, we'll be in Belmar for the American Ball Hockey Alliance Eastern Regionals. We'll be starting coverage early in the morning with the Chipmunk Division and getting all the way up to the Freshman Division, starting again probably around 10 or 11 a.m. We're waiting on word from our good friend Brian Yackel, the ABHA president. Delsea retires Frank Chiron after 10 Ks and 5 innings. He gave up 1 run unearned, and his ERA still stays incredibly low. The new pitcher is Kyle Harrison, the left-hander, with a 2.8 ERA. He fires that one away. He's got 10 innings this year, 13 walks, 9 Ks, and 4 earned runs. This is his 7th appearance of the season, his last on Thursday versus Absegami. The 2-0 is a strike, 2-1. It's Ferrugia, Mata, and Zatuski, 4, 5, and 6 for Haddon Heights in the top of the 6th as they trail 6-1. Delsea got an insurance run on a home run to left by Charles Six. Swing and a miss. 3-1. Or no, it should be 2-2. 2-2, yeah. Because the first pitch was called a strike. Yeah, it's 2-2. I keep looking at the scoreboard and then repeating what I see on the scoreboard, even though they've been wrong a lot today. 2-2. Harrison misses low, with Familiar picking up the pace there. Haddon Heights clapping it up, down by 5 runs. Here in the late going of this one, down to their final 6 outs. That's inside. Ferrugia with a hard-earned walk that got the count full. Brings up Jackson Mata. Haddon Heights has a bat boy on the crew today. A younger fellow. Had Newell on the back, so I would assume it would be Eric Newell's son or relative of one kind or another. Count is 1 ball, no strikes to Mata. He's been out twice, both times controversially. That one's inside. Oh, strike called. 1-1. Mata's just been getting the short end of the stick in a lot of appearances today. The first one, he said the ball fouled off his foot. It went back to the pitcher Chiron, who called him out. After a conference, the umpires upheld the call. The second time, it was a 3 unassisted ground out that again was the same situation. Mata said it was a foul ball, didn't really run it out of the box. But really at no fault of his own, because he assumed, and depending on who you ask, rightfully so, that he had a foul ball. Delsea's got a right-hander warming up in the pen. Haddon Heights is another right-hander warming up as well. The pitcher for Delsea warming up is number 18. Which is not on our roster. Popped up back behind us onto the JV field. 2-2. Well, this is just the second batter that Harrison has faced, and Mata and Ferrugia have already given him heck for it, as he's up to 11 pitches here. Two. Fly ball, foul. Again over our heads. I mean, if you're Frank Chiron, your expectation there was to live up to the hype. The scouts were behind you. There was no avoiding them. He could stare them down if he wanted to, but he dominated. 10 strikeouts, just 2 hits, 1 in the first and another in the 5th off the bat of Begley, who's been on a resurgence for the Garnets this year. Here we go. 3 balls, 2 strikes, second full count in a row for Harrison. It is inside. Mata walks, and he should have been on base a couple of times. He's now got his first, and Vincent Londino, after just 2 batters, gets a pitching mound visit. So now, after the mound visit, Harrison stays up for Zatuski. Lefty-lefty matchup. Honestly, if you were Heights, you saw that Chiron was coming out of the game, you would have gotten excited, and then just face-palmed again that you're facing another left-hander. Because that's not fun for the lefties to face the lefties. It's fun for the pitchers. Might not be the same for the hitters. They've got a couple of them, Kevin Clark included. As the 1-0 from Harrison, squares up to bunt, pulls back at the last second, it's 1-1. Throw back, not in time. I apologize, Mainland beat Northern Burlington, not the other way around. That does give Northern Burlington their first loss of the season. They scored 4 runs in the 6th inning. There's a strike called, 1-2. Again, the final from the first game today. Rancocas Valley beat, or Bishop Eustis beat Rancocas Valley 10-7. That's outside. Three balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Harrison got the strikeout. It's the 11th on the staff for Delsea. And there's one away with 2 runners on thanks to back-to-back walks by Ferrugia and Mata. Tipped foul. One. Strike there. Oh, it's 0-2, excuse me. That one is a grounder to third. Throw across the diamond is in time. The first baseman knocked off his sunglasses while he was fielding the ball. And there's 2 down. Both runners do advance. Ferrugia to third, Mata to second. And Gavito now 0 for 3 on the day. Brings up Begley. Again, like we said, he's been having a good resurgence this year. Earlier in the month, just a few weeks ago, he had his first varsity hit. Now he's an everyday starter, and he's got a hit. First of all, he got a hit off of Frank Chiron, which he might be able to hang that banner a little bit soon. That one's low. Throw back to second, not in time. One 0. Swing and a miss. One is inside. He lifted the back leg. He got the strike there, 1-2. Delsea in the bottom of the 6th, looking for some insurance to shut down Haddon Heights. Will bat the top of their order. Du Bois, Gebhard, and Hudson. Time called. Delsea's dugout, after a bit of a lull, has gotten louder. Some clouds overhead that do not look too kind. They still have a lot of daylight, but we're past 6 p.m. now. And a swing and a miss. Double and dozens for Kyle Harrison. 12 strikeouts for him this season. That's 12 Delsea team strikeouts tonight. And he strikes out 2 to end the inning. 27 pitch inning for Kyle Harrison. However, all really worth it because they strand 2 runners in scoring position. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Delsea looking for their last swings and looking for some extra offense. 6-1. Here at Sicklerville, some not so nice clouds overhead. Due to time constraints, we will not be conducting a post-game interview today, regardless of who wins. We'll be packing up our equipment and leaving Sicklerville. Big thanks to John Cates, the Timber Creek head coach, who's been on site today for having us out. We hope to be back in Sicklerville soon. Cates, probably the resident deadhead of South Jersey baseball, if I had to guess, and had some great Dave Matthews Band conversations earlier today, as one does, as a ground ball foul. The new pitcher for Haddon Heights is number 15, the third baseman, Colin Camarote. The sophomore comes in as the 4th pitcher to toe the rubber for Haddon Heights. In addition to the starter Dakota Spizak, this is his first pitching appearance. And in fact, for C.J. Loveledge, that was also his first appearance. So 3 of the 4 pitchers for Haddon Heights have had no pitching experience this year, and they've held Delsea to 6 runs. 1-1. Ooh, 2-1. And a relatively young lineup as well, with Loveledge and all of that, but thing is about this Haddon Heights team is that they are 12-2 with only 2 seniors on the roster. That one is launched foul, out towards right. It's out of play. Their 2 seniors are Will Loveledge and Nolan Latchall. So Loveledge only has 1 at-bat this year. And his younger brother, C.J. Loveledge, just threw a scoreless inning or didn't throw a scoreless inning, but gave up 1 with the home run to 6. As the 2-2, ground ball out to short. Latchall couldn't hang on to it, bobbles it, and it goes into left center field. Turning and stopping at first will be Du Bois, and the leadoff man for Delsea gets on. That's his second hit of the day. That's a grounder. On a bunt back to the mound. They go to first. It's in time. Runner overstepped at second base, but gets back safely. And Gebhard with a successful 1-3 sacrifice for the first out. One is the call to the 3-man Hudson. Oh, 1. Oh, that goes right through the legs. Let's see if he's going to go. He's halfway there, but he backs up, and he'll stay there. I think the pitcher's hurt. He went down. He threw that ball. It was low. Timber Creek's trainer, who has been on site today, is going to come out and talk to Cameron, who has had 8 pitches in relief. Not sure what the issue was, but wonder if they're going to wave off the trainer or if they're just going to look at him. He's going to throw a warm-up pitch to make sure he's okay. I think the trainer's at least going to ask, if anything, what the issue is. He's going to talk to Eric Newell, the head coach. He's thrown 2 warm-up pitches now. So it seems like he's okay, and it looks like he's going to stay in the game. For Delsea, a win would bring them to 15-0. They're 6-0 undefeated in their division, the Tri-County Liberty. Their next game will be at home versus Timber Creek, the stadium where they're playing right now, 4 o'clock. And then on the road versus Cumberland, at home versus GCIT on May 10th. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. For Haddon Heights, a loss would bring them to 12-3. And it would be their first non-conference loss of the year. They would play a back-to-back with Haddonfield on Monday and Tuesday, away at Audubon on the 8th, where we will be, and then away at Rancocas Valley on the 12th. They will also be home to St. Joe's Hamilton on May 13th. Swing and a miss. Cameron picks up the strikeout. Hudson is down on strikes, and this brings up Mokienko. And again, you hear that, or not hear, but you see the communication between Mokienko and Hudson. I love when teams do that. I'm honestly a little bit surprised that that's not the standard. Just because some teams don't really talk to each other. Some teams, that dugout sounds like it's a corporate business meeting. It just, sometimes it doesn't sound like it's got any life to it. Delsea's got life, and this game has kind of simmered down since then. I mean, it felt really good when Chiron was wheeling and dealing. Now it doesn't seem to have the same flair. Remember, Delsea, if they win, will play Bishop Eustis in the quarterfinal of the tournament, which I don't remember where they said it would be, but it'll be at another neutral site on Saturday the 10th. So with that being said, Delsea would most likely have to move their GCIT game since Well, above all, Diamond Classic takes priority. 2-1. Oh, hit a couple of guys there. Hit Clark, hit the batter. Knocked out in front. Count's going to be 2-2 here. 2 outs. Nobody on. No, runner on third, excuse me. 9-1-2 for Haddon Heights in the top of the 7th. Camerat, who seemed to bang himself up on the mound, will lead off. Strike 3 right down the middle. Camerat strikes out 2 to end the inning. And Haddon Heights, excuse me, will have their last swings 6-1. Here we go, top of the 7th, hitting for Camerat, who probably is out of the game as a precautionary measure as he had the trainer come out in the bottom of the 6th. It's Ben Alexander hitting for him. So Alexander, Butler, and Latchall in the top of the 7th. Delsea would go to an unbeaten 15-0 with a win and would advance to the 3rd round of the Diamond Classic as Alexander off the bench gets a base hit. All for the left-hander Harrison. There is a righty warming up in the pen for Delsea, but I don't know with a 5-run lead if it's needed. We will have to see. For Haddon Heights, it is just their 3rd hit of the game. They scored 1 run on a passed ball in the top of the 5th, and that's been all they've written. I mean, listen, Haddon Heights, again, a team that in the past 2 years, with big senior classes in both seasons, made it to back-to-back South Jersey Group 2 sectional championships. They lost, but valiantly and with great effort, to Seneca. Seneca was a very good team. They've taken a step back this year, but all told, Haddon Heights is always going to be a good program. From the time I've seen them, first time I ever saw them was when Drew Harris started in 2022 and Caden Bodine hit a ringing double off the wall. Well, Caden Bodine right now is a 2nd-round draft pick buzz at Coastal Carolina. So a lot of things can change, but 2026, if this year is any precedent, is going to be very strong for Haddon Heights. They have held Delsea to 6 runs. They didn't let this game get out of control. It's a Group 2 versus a Group 3, borderline Group 4, and they know how to dig. That's a 4-pitch walk, and Harrison's in some trouble. Londino coming out here, and Butler reaches base for Latchall, and that right-hander who came in from the bullpen looks like he may be next up. And they will take the ball from Kyle Harrison and hand it immediately over to the new right-hander coming in. Didn't get his number, but we'll report back to you here. Let's take a gander real quick before we go to break. It is number 19, Otley McCoskey. We'll be right back. 6-1, Haddon Heights with 2 runners on. Otley McCoskey is the pitcher for Delsea in the top half of the 7th inning. 2 runners are on with Nolan Latchaw at the plate. Again, the commit to Penn State Abington. First pitch is a strike, 0-1. McCoskey, the senior right-hander, is as part of a pretty big senior class for Delsea. He's got a 0.88 ERA in 8 innings. As Latchaw flies this one out towards right center field. It is caught in center. Runner will tag the third, and he is in there without issue. 1 away. Now to bring up the catcher, Clark. Again, McCoskey with a sub-1 ERA. The 2 runners that are on base now, McCoskey is not responsible for. It would only be if Clark or Ferrugia, anybody after him, gets on and scores, that McCoskey would bear the blame, if you will, for. Again, Delsea would improve to an unbeaten 15-0 with a win. Haddon Heights would fall to 12-3. Some excellent baseball here this weekend. We saw Clearview beat Cinnaminson 4-1 in the first round of the Diamond on Thursday. And then we saw Bishop Eustis go back and forth with RV 10-7. Eustis never gave up the lead, but it felt like at any time they could blow it. And it's what really made that game special. It was 10-3, and then Eustis got 4 runs back, and that's where it stayed, 10-7. But it's 6-1 here. That one's inside, 2-0. To Clark, who is 1 for 3, single and 2 strikeouts for the catcher. The junior, class of 26, part of a big junior class. Pulls back, does get the strike called, and it's 3-1. Swing and a miss, 3-2. Big opportunity for McCoskey to come back versus Clark. Three-2. Liner out to right field. That's a base hit for Clark. It'll get down towards the right field side. Buchanan throws it in. Runner gets the third. Run scores for the Garnets. It's 6-2. As McCoskey runs into some trouble, that run will be charged to Harrison. An RBI single for Kevin Clark, his second hit of the day. It moved Butler to third, scored Alexander. Now it's the 4-man, the DH Ferrugia, fouled straight back, look out. That reminded me of Chase Kroberger's home run from last night, missed our booth by about 2 feet. His second of the game, he hit 2 versus Seneca. Was the last runs that Morristown scored in a 5-3 loss to the Golden Eagles over at the Dingertown Park in Chemung. That one misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike. To the cleanup man, Ferrugia. The DH dealing with runners on the corners. Here's the pitch. Liner, center field. Haddon Heights will not go quietly. It will fall. A 3rd run will score. Haddon Heights has cut the lead down to 3 for the Crusaders. They now trail this thing 6-3 as McCoskey has brought home those 2 runs that have now been charged at the hands of the prior pitcher, Harrison. RBI single. Here is Mata. Newell called time from the dugout. They're going to get a pinch runner. Delsea tried to speed it up there. They will run number 8, Quinn Dahman, for the DH Ferrugia. Although Kevin Clark, the catcher, with less than 2 outs, will stay on second base. But one of the big changes for the Diamond Classic has been no timing rules. That's a base hit. That falls in front of the left fielder. Almost got over his head. A big save out in left to prevent a run from coming in. He played it, but almost didn't play it well enough as Grippo seemed to misjudge it. The ball almost went over his head. The bases are loaded, and the tying run is on. Jackson Mata with a base hit to bring up Zatuski. Don't go anywhere. This game's not over. 1 away. Ground ball on the first pitch. It'll go to first. It's a fair ball. He beats him out. Run scores. It's the 2nd out. And Haddon Heights, after a dormant couple of innings, has scored 3 runs. And 3 straight RBIs off the bat of the Garnets. And the Rock is getting hot very late in this game. Strike called. Strike called. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. Clark came in to score. Ferrugia on 2nd. And then Mata that one misses high. 2-1. A bloop single off the bat of Gavito would tie the game if both runs came in to score on their heels. That one is up 3-1. This is huge. Absolutely huge. 3-1 is a strike, 3-2. Next up would be Begley, who has a base hit. He homered off of the Coastal Carolina commit Frank Chiron. Working fast, McCoskey, ground ball, out to short, throw across the diamond is in time! And at the skin of their teeth, Delsea hangs on despite a late Haddon Heights rally to win it 6-4. And the unbeaten Crusaders remain that way with a 15-0 record. And despite 8 men coming to plate for Haddon Heights in the top of the 7th, they score 3. Not enough to get them across the finish line. Delsea will play Bishop Eustis on Saturday in the quarterfinals of the 2025 51st annual Diamond Classic. Again, due to time constraints, we're going to keep this short because we do have a meeting we have to attend later tonight. But that will be all for us tonight here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. From our social media coordinator, Haley Mejia, our graphics crew, Caleb Lane and Carson Rosso, I'm Dan Wilkins with my producer, Damian Waiters. We'll see y'all tomorrow at Belmar for the American Ball Hockey Alliance Eastern Regionals. Have a good one, folks.